Freshly arrived, a 3 litre ultrasonic cleaner. I think this cost about £58 on eBay. It's not excessively expensive, and I've been umming and ahhing for about a year about buying one of these. I have 2 carburettors I'd like to do, one for the XL and one for the cb125s. And yeah, and that was all I needed really for justification to buy one of these, but I can think of lots of different uses I will have for the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, this isn't a review, but it's just a quick rundown of what I got for my money. We've got a lid which has this packaging on it, I suppose. It's got silicone like bumpers on the corner of this, which I'm guessing stops it vibrating when the thing's working. Inside this so-called 3 litre container, it barely looks like you could get 2 litres in there. We've got this bubble wrap around the basket, which looks like a chip basket. And in that you have your kettle lead, which runs it. Oh, and the basket has little rubber standoff feet as well, so that's quite neat. I like that. And that should be enough to get a carburettor in there. Yeah, just about. We should be able to get the major components in a couple of sittings. Here's a few shots of the carburettor body before I actually put it into the ultrasonic cleaner. It's pretty grotty, has general dirt and grime built in. It's looking a bit tired. The main concern is really the internals, how grimy and rotten they look. A lot of dust and dirt in there, and other parts also are things like the jets, which I'd like to put through the bath, the needle seats, and other associated bits and pieces, and we'll see how they come up. I'll also bung the floats in and see how they come out as well. They're pretty grimy. Okay, the hot water that's gone in is showing 42 degrees on its own. I've set the target temperature for 60, but I don't know if I'll wait till we get to that. And then if I hit that button, the heater seems to come on, so I guess it'll start adding heat from this point. This looks like how long you set the timer for. I think I'll start with 5 minutes just to see what happens. I purchased this inexpensive degreaser from Screwfix. I think it was about 8 or 9 quid. That's it, 5 minutes. Okay, I know it's going to need longer, but I'm just curious to see what the effect is after 5 minutes. Certainly looks a lot cleaner. Certainly looks clean on the side that faces the ultrasonic generators. So that was just 5 minutes. So I might give it another 5 minutes on this side and then switch it over and do 5 minutes. No real change there. Some of that grime's breaking away. Okay, 10-minute mark. These are showing no real cleaning as far as I can tell. Nothing exciting happening there. Temperature of the water, by the way, is up to 52 degrees now. Let's have a look at this. That's showing signs of improvement. So that's the dirty side, and that's the side that's been facing the ultrasonics. So I think what I'll do is I'll do 5 minutes on this side. Don't think I should have my hands in this degreaser. Oh, that's looking better all round from that side. Oh yeah, and there's some improvement there. It looks like more of the crud's coming out. So I'll continue with this one face down and get as much of that out as possible. So we'll do for another 5 minutes. Okay, I need to make a basket for the smaller parts so they don't fall between the larger gaps in the factory basket for the ultrasonic cleaner. So I'm just going to cut up this old cheapo sieve. I remember to put gloves on this time. Yeah, that could do with another 5 minutes on its side. This part's really looking clean though. And bit by bit the crud is slowly working its way out. It's hard on there. So we leave that in for a bit longer. Another 5. Okay, I think that marks 20 minutes now. It's really quite warm. But that looks so much cleaner. There's still some crud here, which I don't know if that's rust or whether that's just gum. But all or most of the crap from out of the crevices has gone. It looks a lot cleaner. Okay, not perfect. There's still a lot of crap in here, so I'm going to face it down into the bath and see if that makes a difference. Looking better. Okay, here we are after, I think it's 25 minutes or so. This bowl is pretty much cleaned out. There's still a little bit of stubborn crud at the bottom, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. That may just clean out manually. There's a little bit of crud lurking in the drain hole, but again, I'm not too bothered about that. Outside wise, the aluminium looks nice and clean. It may need a wash off and it may well oxidize quite quickly once it's dried, but we'll have a look. Okay, so this is the finished collection of bits and pieces. The rust obviously wasn't removed from the choke lever, so that'll go off and get plated, I hope, at some point. The brass pieces came out. They went slightly tarnished in the solution I went in there, but I'm pretty sure they'll either clean up or it doesn't matter because no one's going to see them. Again, any areas with rust on, try and focus, didn't remove rust, but then you wouldn't expect it to. But everything else has come up really clean, and what was interesting was it did what it was supposed to do, which was clean out all the blocked pores in all the jets. All these look really clean. I've shone a light into them and through them, and they all look very good. And the very small one, you can see as I rotate that the holes in there are clear, both the lower small ones and the top bigger ones. So yeah, all the little springs came out nice and clean. So yeah, I'm really quite pleased with the way that came up. That's the drain plug screw. It's a little bit tarnished. I think the solution I used was probably a little bit aggressive for aluminium. It is a degreasing solution. I just put a splash into the water that was in there, but it does seem to have tarnished some of the metal parts. This got a bit of a clean. This has come up really nicely. I've given it a quick oil just to drive the moisture out of it, but that is aluminium, so that is not a problem. It's not going to rust or anything. I did not put through some of these steel parts, like the actual choke flap didn't go through, and the lever didn't go through. The little retainer for the main needle didn't go through, and I didn't put the main needle through either. I just cleaned that with a rag with some penetrating oil on it. This spring went on, this came up nicely. The plastic parts went in, they came up nicely. So yeah, oh, and the bail went in, and interestingly that is actually rustier than I thought it was, so I may send that off for plating when I send some of the engine parts off for plating, just to clean it up. But like I say, this is a bit of a budget build, so I don't want to spend a fortune on it, so I'm going to wait till I've got enough pieces to send that off for plating. So yeah, so I think the next thing is I am waiting for the carb repair kit to come, so once that arrives we'll do a build on that.